Marfoogle News going live in 3, 2. All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam AK Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We've got an update about, of course, Elon. Now, judging from the thumb on this video, you might think this is something a little bit different. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about Elon. We're going to talk about that black eye. Again, I have my own opinion about those things. I'm going to give you that. But I'm also going to talk about on his way out and what has been going on. Of course, if you know, Elon has been in the news almost every single day. He has been called, like, you know, the president's puppet, and that he's, you know, doing this because he's essentially getting everything out of it. There's all sorts of negative press about him because, of course, of his attachment to the president. Now, on his way out, he's actually gone against the president in a couple of ways. First of all, he went out and he said, well, hey, we reduced all of that spending. We reduced and we saved all of this money. We got back. We found all of this, abuse and fraudulent spending. And then all of that money ends up going into something, you know, that then they end up going and spending all of it, right? He essentially showed his disapproval for what the president was going to end up doing with all of this money that they found, right? So he said, you know, he basically on his way out said he was disapproving of that. He also said, yeah, I'm also not going to be spending money on politics, or I'm not spending so much on politics. I did get a bit spendy and I spent too much on politics. And essentially the big chunk went towards the president. So is he saying he's not happy with the president? Is there some sort of secret riff? Now, under the big, beautiful bill, they are also taking out things for solar credits, all of these things. Now, some of you may agree with that, but I'm sure Elon isn't exactly happy about this because his whole business is the battery technology, the stuff for that, and there's a ton of money in that for a Tesla-type company, right? Tesla has, of course, amazing, battery technology as far as battery technology that in the future could have been connected to all of this solar stuff. As well, there's a lot of things popping up. And again, I will talk later on the next show about the solar stuff because it is a big deal, especially for those of you who have probably already tried to switch over under the last administration. Some of you may have an entire solar setup. Some of you may even be, waiting to get yours and hoping for that tax credit. That tax credit may be gone. Again, but with this, it again, he says, I would like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. Again, he said that he was disappointed by the price tag of Trump's big, beautiful bill that could produce over $3 trillion in new red ink. If the bill is passed, the bill increases the budget deficit and undermines the work that Doge team is doing. He straight up said, essentially, that this was undermining all of this stuff that they just did. On his way out, of course, kind of leaving this riff. Now, we're going to talk about the black eye. I do want to remind you guys, make sure to go over and check out EMP Shield, especially while they still have the public Liberty Sale going, especially since this Liberty Sale was started for our contest and it was only for the Foogle fam and now is public. If you want to get protection for your vehicle, this is the best protection to get. This is going to protect your cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, generators, gas, and solar in the case of the bug out or energy. Again, this is going to ground the signal of any EMP attack, electromagnetic pulse attack from any adversary, or any Carrington level event from the sun. Again, marfooglenews.com/EMP. Make sure to use the code MARF. The same company is not only outfitting agencies like DHS and DOD, they are actually on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. So if you're in America, there is most likely this kind of technology that is either going up or is going to be going up. So go over to marfooglenews.com/EMP. If they're protecting themselves quietly, you know what you should be doing. Go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. Make sure to use code MARF to get $50 off per device from us. And under that Liberty Sale, you end up getting, again, an extra discount, which the best deal is if you get 4, outfit the whole family. You get $200 from them and $200 from us. If you get 1, you get an extra 20 off, 2, 60. That is, again, that means 100 plus 60. 3, you get 120 plus again, 150. So that is with our discount and theirs. All right, let's bring in my co-host/internet brother, Dex James. What is going on and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So I have my own opinion about the whole black eye thing. Now, first off, there are some things that are even in our community that sometimes I am on the other side of, and I'm not afraid to say it. You know, there's so many people that are afraid of being called this or called that. There's something. Sometimes I think some things are pretty silly. Now, the problem is there's a lot of people in my community. Some of my friends might even be totally all out for this. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody. I have 4 kids. I don't have time to watch other creators. So there might be something that puts me at odds. The thing is, if somebody like me goes up against something like this with the whole black eye joining a secret club, the whole thing with that is you're going against somebody I might not know, but 3 of my friends might be doing videos on this and saying, hey, he just joined a secret club or something because he's got a black eye. Personally, I have kids and I've been whopped in the face so many times by kids. It is not funny. I've been hit. I've been, stood up to a 6-foot pole that was being swung around and got gutted in my, neck. Knocked the breath out of me for days. Dex, you have kids. You have probably had the same, right? So he's saying that this black guy is from his kid. And I'm surprised that all mainstream media, including like AP and all of these other places, are talking about his mysterious black eye. My opinion, I guess, is if he was in any secret club, he would have been in that since high school or since frickin', some sort of group. I don't think he's going to be joining as he's leaving the Oval Office. Dex, you saw this. I mean, everybody covered this.
Timing is right in the sense, or as you say, timing it matters. And in this case, it just seems odd. Like, why would it be now? It would have been years ago if there was some secret club. But nevertheless, I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to say it is or it isn't. We'll just report what happened. Like, dude's got a black eye. A lot of people get these black eyes, and there's a lot of people that question, what does it mean? Everybody's had a lot of famous people have had these mysterious black eyes, and they all have an excuse. And guess what? When you get hit in the eye, you get a black eye. So it's not like it doesn't happen. It's going to happen.
I always thought it was weirder.
Odd.
I always thought it was weirder when it was presidents and politicians, like Nancy Pelosi or George Bush. But when it's Ben Affleck or somebody like this, I guess, they have a list, like they put on this list Lucy Lawless. When's the last time you thought of, wasn't she Sheena, Warrior Princess? Like, I don't think, some of these names, it's like out of the numbers of people, we are human beings. We injure ourselves on a daily basis. Right now I have Band-Aids all over my foot from stubbing my toe. It's like, I've literally seen, just so many things. It's like out of numbers of people, and especially people that have pictures taken of them every single day. That's my disagreement with some of this. Now, if they are leaving a Hollywood party and there's 4 people, which this has happened before, 4 celebrities come out with black eyes, that's kind of weird, okay? But when you eventually catch somebody with a black eye and say, oh, they're now part of the club, all of these people's pictures are way after they're famous, way after they're in power. That wouldn't be a thing. I guess to me, it's not the evidence I'm looking for that it's joining some sort of secret group. Personally, I think almost all of these names would have already been in that group. Dex, go ahead.
Well, and doesn't at least the type of black eye he has where you see the bruising, doesn't that happen like a little later? It's not like immediately. It's not like he got bopped in the head 20 minutes before coming out and presenting at a press conference. He probably arrived at the White House with that. It probably happened before. That would be my guess. I don't recall a black eye setting. Now I know a good, beat down black eye, like you get hit really hard, like that Richard Branson, picture there. Yeah, that's a little different. That's more brutal, but yeah.
And it's mostly men. It's mostly men. Women, you assume that they're getting hurt by a man, and men you assume are getting in some sort of fight or something is happening. But that's safe to assume. There's so many, like Richard Branson. I could see him being without security or something, and being, his ego, his head 50,000 times bigger than it should be, bragging or something, and somebody having a problem with him. Same thing with. Somebody might punch Brad Pitt because he's the most attractive man on earth, and somebody's just jealous. With Kanye West, Kanye West is rolling with a bunch of dudes. If you've seen his crew, they're a bunch of gangsters. In that culture, you just see somebody who is supposedly tough or even has security, you go, that guy's not so tough, and they fight. Men are stupid. We've all fought for stupid reasons. I mean, I've been punched for not giving up a payphone a long time ago when we had payphones, for not giving it up after I hung up. I said, let me make one more call, and bam, pop, right on there on the street. It's like men are just dumb. But as far as I think that people should focus on some of the other things, like their connections, their cousins, their family members, the fact that almost everyone in power has some sort of connection with somebody else. This is a real thing. And my point is stuff like this, to anybody who is not kind of waking up to the reality of what's going on, I think that stuff like this could almost be inserted to make it look silly. Do you guys get my drift? And again, I'm not saying, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying anybody that says this is silly, and I think that there is a lot of weird stuff out there. And then also there's other things like the bracelets on their legs. And over the last 6-7 years, some of the claims, that people were secretly, that we were going to have martial law and all of these things happening. Sometimes I don't know where the propaganda starts and where it ends, and where these things are faked and put in there just to make the real things kind of, look silly, right? But that's just my opinion. Again, I know that everybody does not agree with me, and that's okay. That's where we should be. We should be in a place where we can talk about this kind of stuff. But as far as that goes, I will also say I think everybody on this list is most likely already in those things. If you look at what schools they went to, who they were friends with, there's so many connections. It's unbelievable. But is Lucy Lawless, is she going to be the ring bearer at the ceremony? I don't know. Join us for the next show. We're going to talk about some really, really crazy stuff. And it is going along the pattern and the path that we have set for you. We have told you guys, I hate to have another I told you so, but this show is going to be one. Hopefully I won't say it even once. You'll just know, but when you see the articles of what's happening, again, Macron is kind of like the leader of Europe now, or at least that's what they're putting him up to be, is saying that NATO will join the war if. Find out on the next show. We'll be right back after a break. If you're watching this as a replay, all you have to do is click here. If you're in the chat, just stay there. You'll be ported over. We'll see you in a second. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.